Final NHRA sanctioned event ever here at Houston Raceway Park. Track drying is in progress, so if you are still in competition, do not pack your car up just yet. We're doing everything within our power to get the track dry and run this event to completion here today. This racetrack has been around for 35 years. And means a great deal to a lot of people, myself included. It's tough to see it go. Hopefully we can get some cars down and end on a high note. We had some great racing action from Belrose. I think we had 28 cars show up for Comp Eliminator and the Rooftec D4 bonus fund. At the end of it, Monty Bogan was king of the mountain. He took on the title in Comp, and he actually doubled up. He took on the Wally in Comp and Super Stock. This weekend, we're here at Houston Raceway Park for the second stop on the 2023 Lucas Oil Drag Racing Division 4 schedule. And unfortunately, this is going to be the final time that an NHRA sanctioned event occurs here at Houston Raceway Park. It will be closing in a couple of weeks, and it will be no more. So we have a great field. There's 34, 35 cars on the property, so we're going to have a bump spot in Comp Eliminator, which is something that I personally haven't seen in a very long time, and it's got me really excited for this weekend. It's going to be some great racing, and can't wait to get to it.
Well, we did learn some stuff there, and we went back home and spent the next 3-4 weeks going over things that we learned. So hopefully we have a good run right here. I'd like to get in one before Q1, just so we know what we are, what we can do for Q1. So hopefully we get a nice clean run in, and we can tune it up for qualifying and have a good weekend here at Houston. Very sensitive. That's what we're trying to learn right now, just with different tire pressures, launch RPM, and gearing. We've never run a comp dragster before, so it's been a bit of a learning curve, but like I said, hopefully we can get it figured out.
My dad's been racing comp for I don't even know how long, since the 90s I think, and that's how I grew up. I grew up with this stuff. That's my mom, her dad raced, my dad's dad raced, so growing up I was always around it. It's a tribute to Kevin and Glenn South, they were both really good friends of my dad, and Dad and Kevin had always talked about maybe doing a joint dragster together, so he thought that this would be the perfect way to kind of show his appreciation for the two of them after their passing. And we decided to do the paint and the wrap just like how their altereds looked, and it came out really well, so it's pretty awesome.
started off as a bracket racer back in about '89. In 2003, he's moved up to competition eliminator, and he's been running that, you know, for the past 20 years or so. He runs a B Econo dragster combination. Yeah, so just following in his footsteps. And I mean, I feel like I've got a few different curveballs just because, like I said, I don't have a lot of runs on this car, so that's going to be different. So just going to leg it and hope it goes down the track, hope I can keep it straight. Clint's an easy guy to race for, you know, there's not a lot of pressure. We come out here and have fun, and other than racing with my dad, Clint's the only other guy I really enjoy racing with, so I'm just pretty lucky to have this opportunity, so can't thank him enough.
Comp Eliminator coming up next. And Comp Eliminator in Division 4. You may have heard me mention earlier the Rooftec D4 Comp Eliminator Bonus Fund. In the next category down the racetrack, we have 35 cars on the property here this weekend. Well, Taylor Chemiskey over on the left-hand side. That is an F Super Modified car. That means as a Super Modified designation, it rolled off the assembly line as a 92 Camaro. And Sean Dodd, that is a C Econo Altered, meaning that is a wedge-headed 315 cubic inch small block with a single 4-barrel carburetor sitting on top. So Taylor Chemiskey going to lead the starting line first by just about a half a second. Sean Dodd going to try to run him down at the top end. Taylor drifting a little left down at the finish line stripe. Taylor goes 876. Sean goes 857, lifting well before the stripe. Looks like Taylor got way over to the right, and Sean Dodd's laying down there at the top end of the racetrack. Got the unique and innovative cars of Comp Eliminator.
It's unsafe. They got condensation and moisture on the top end.
Get out of the car. We're done for the night.
Well, guys, unfortunately, we are going to be done for the night due to the humidity. And we're going to have a revised schedule put out as soon as possible, but as I mentioned, unfortunately, we are done for the evening.
Get a shot in front of the huge crowd here at Houston Raceway Park.
You couldn't tell. I mean, it was, I didn't get a shot at it, so I really can't tell or say anything about it. I don't think the track, I think the visors are just going to fog up going down the track. I don't think the condensation on the track was the issue. I think the moisture in the air was getting on the visors and making it not safe to drive.
As Comp Eliminator rolls out underneath the tower, qualifying session number 2, Comp WFO qualifying. Clark Smiley. Just listen to Clark Smiley's machine. That is a double B Alter. Dead on.
It's a blown 306 cubic inch with a 1471 blower on gas. That's the key, is the gas. That's where it's not on methanol. Every other blower's on methanol. This one's on gas, so it's quite a bit different. We thought it'd be easy, and we were wrong.
So these wind lights matter. Clark turns at 42 red. Little pop from Smiley's machine. How about 7-11? Are you kidding me? Clark Smiley just went 80 under the index. In Comp Eliminator, 60 under the index is a good run. 70 under the index is a great run. 80 under the index. Wow. And Kenny with problems on the starting line. Scott Cascio 778, 171. Cascio 74 under. And due to the fog and dew and windows fogging up in the race car, had issues down there in the shutdown area. Green lights a pair. Monty Bogan double 09 at the tree. Taylor Chemiskey 173 was dead late. Taylor Chemiskey. Taylor 67 under, goes to the number 3 spot. Monty 62 under, slides into number 7. better, Kyle. Goes left at the hit. Roger Brogdon, 697 to 173. Rick sitting pre-stage. Kevin rolling in on the summit side. Whoa, baby. Big time wheel stand for Rick Brown. Kevin DUET 007 at the tree. Does he have enough room? He does not. 817, 164 miles an hour for Rick. 688, 185 for Kevin. Rick Brown, 65 under, goes number 4. Kevin to number 13 spot, 61 under the index.
Yeah, 65 under. It has 4 to 5 left because he got on the wheelie bar and all 4 tires came off the ground on the graph, and also the fuel, of course, being up in the air, spilled over. So there's a bit left. Yeah, yes sir. You have to stay in it, or you will damage the truck or any car you drive. I've been that high many times with all 4 off the ground with this truck at Indy and otherwise. But since we changed to the Penske shocks years ago, we can usually tame it down pretty quick, and I think you'll see a difference this run.
Want to get into the top half of the field. Got to go better than 61 under. So Sean Dodd 8 flat with a 7 at 168. 69 under the index.
It was excellent. We were expecting to actually go slower than that. I shut it off before the finish line, trying not to go that quick, and it went quicker than I expected. Different set of carburetors than I ran in Belrose, different set of rear springs than I ran in Belrose, and we didn't test. So kind of a surprise for us, a pleasant surprise. But I just got a gift from NHRA to go get pumped. So we're going to get the engine apart so we can get pumped before eliminations.
61 under on his first pass. Kenny Laughlin. Sounded like he left from an idle manufacturing Spitzer chassis car with a 450 cubic inch big block between the rails. And Kenny with problems right off the starting line. Don Thomas was 001, goes 691.3, puts him 68 under. That's Brad Brewer. Normally does a more abbreviated burnout, waiting on Brad to get closer to the starting line.
Weekend started off great. Qualifying went well. We really didn't change a whole lot all weekend. Come the second round, I think the weather just got us a little bit. It didn't even try to go. Just knocked the tire off immediately. And we literally went back to the trailer shaking our heads in kind of disbelief. We really didn't know what happened. Stuff we don't face back where we're from, back from the West Coast. And weather doesn't change on a dime like that, and it did out here, and just caught us off guard a little bit. Just try to get it down the track and make a good clean pass, nothing exciting, and just see where we land.
And Keith Hall's machine bogs off the starting line. Brad Brewer, that looks a lot better. That is a lot better. 693, 199 miles an hour. Sean Dodd, 799.6, 70 under the index.
It's exciting. We get to have a race within a race. So it's good of the Hudsons and it's good of Rooftec and Roger Brogdon to do this, make things exciting. You know, when I first heard about it, I wasn't excited until you actually start doing it, you know? And then it's cool. You get to race and then you get to race, so.
Like Neff's Phantom over on the left side. And Greg turns it red. Down to the top end they go, 749 for Kayla Mazeris. 1 gears down the racetrack, 80 under on his first pass. Let's see what he does here.
Yeah, kind of messed it up on that one. I went red. Should have been the AFL winner, but I'll take this. It's very nice, very appreciative to everybody involved and everybody that helps out, and Roger and Ashton, everybody. It's awesome.
Mike DePalma with a perfect reaction time. Trip zips on the board. He goes 8:32 at 161.
I mean, the competition's as stiff as you're ever going to get. Probably more harder to win this than it is a national event. You know, you got top 20 cars that are running 60 under or more. And, you know, very difficult to win one of these races, Division 4 races for sure, because everyone's out here to try to win the money. If you have the ability, you know, you can run 2 classes in a year. So I think probably after this race or maybe the next race, you're probably going to see some gunslinging going on and people using up some index that haven't, or that have been trying to protect it and they won't do it anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens the next 3 or 4 races, really.
The 73 puts us right about where we want to be, right at 65 under, where with the mine shaft conditions, which we have, 65 under allows us to be able to save our index. That's as fast as we really want to go to be. There's no desperation. Last year we lost first round, and then we went to the second race and weren't even able to compete because we hurt a motor, and so we ahead of where we were last year actually.
The 2 runs were great. We made a killer run for us this morning. Kind of surprised us even, but made a great run. We're number 4 after that first session, so we were solidly in the top half, which is huge when you've got this competitive field out here. You got 18, 19, 20 cars that are over 61 under, which puts us in mine shaft. You got the best of the best in the business here from all over the country. So made a solid run, put ourselves in the top half solidly, and put some weight in it, tried to slow it down a little bit to get in race day mode, and we did, went 60 under, so we got a good baseline, and we're ready. We've got a C altered with Dwayne Robeson here in the first round, good friend of ours, and we're pretty familiar with C altered. I don't think that anybody's got more passes in a C altered than my dad, so pretty familiar with what they run, and should be a pretty good first round here coming up.
Well, Taylor's kind of at a disadvantage this week because he's already hit 1 class this year, and if he goes 66 under today, he's got a truck that they've been working really hard on. Gary, his dad, did, so he's really got to be careful of how he does this, otherwise he won't be able to race his truck this year. With the mine shaft rule, which we have this weekend, you can go 65 under, so that helps a ton, but when you've got cars that are 80 under, it's going to make that hard for those guys to race.
Taylor Chemiskey and Dwayne Robinson in your next pair. Taylor, the F Supermod, 303 cubic inch small block power, 3rd gen Camaro. Ooh, Dwayne Robinson turns it red. Dwayne runs at a pretty good ways out there. He goes 753. Taylor Chemiskey coasts across to a 952. Refine Energy Services, Robert Lemming, Matco Tools, and Golden Spread Motorplex. About a 1/4 of a second head start going to Champlain. Clean and green for both. Slight advantage at the tree going to Champlain. Let's see if Thomas can track him down. Finish line. Wind light says, you betcha. 7:10 with a 9. 49 under for Thomas.
Car qualified a little lower than what I thought. I was trying to get into another little spot, but it worked out good. I don't hope it don't make me a target. I just want to keep on winning rounds. So that's our goal here, to win this Roger Brogdon's money, this Rooftec money, and that's what we're here for.
56 under your index or better, you will get penalized accordingly for the next round. So your index will be adjusted. You're not going to get quite as much of a head start as you would. Kenny turns at 57 red. Monty Bogan going to have a free ride into the next round. He coasts across at a 9:14, 124 miles an hour. DePalma going to get a slight head start, 0.12 of a second. His index 9 flat. Scott Benham at 888. Green and green. Side by side, good clean runs down to the stripe. 840 with a 9 for Mike DePalma, and he is going to take a little bit of a hit into round number 2 as he's 59 under the index. So Cascio getting almost a second head start. 852 the index. Roger 760. Only 2 thou between them at the tree. Win light, Roger Brogdon, 694. Ooh boy. Roger just lost 10 off his index, 50 next round.
Unique thing about a stick shift car, you've obviously got to be pretty precise about hitting shift points also, not just the tree. And I've hustled the car down the track pretty well so far. We gave up a couple hundredths of personal index in Belrose, so I'm down 2 hundredths in index, so I don't really have a lot to lose. I guess we're just trying to hit the tree and stay in front of Kayla to the finish line.
Keith Mawhee left side, the F altered. Kayla Mazeris right side, the K altered automatic. Kayla turns it red, 28 on the bad side of the tree. Keith Mawhee runs at about 800 feet, shoves in the clutch. 846, 113. So much innovation and creativity involved in these combinations. Supermod Cavalier of Cody Lane going to move first. Green, green. Slight advantage. 5 foul to Greg at the tree and at the finish line. Win light to Cody Lane. Cody 65 under. 4-banger with an automatic transmission, naturally aspirated. Clark Smiley, the double B altered, supercharged, 306 cubic inch small block, burning gasoline. He was your number 1 qualifier, went 80 under the index. Definitely don't want to do that in eliminations. Double 06 for Clark Smiley. Big end of the racetrack. Win light going to go to CALI NEFF. CALI goes 771. 65 under. So CALI's going to take a pretty solid hit to the index going into the next round. Clark Smiley clicked it before the finish line. 740 at 166. So your number 1 qualifier out of here in first round. And that'll do it for Comp Eliminator.
Actually got on the brake pedal about 1,000 foot, was riding the brake a little bit, whopped the gas one time, then hit the, I was watching him, and as soon as he let me go, I hit the brakes really hard, you know, and still went 65 under, so. But fortunately, I got Cody Lane next time, and he went 64 under, so it's not, it could have been worse. We've been working with this, you know, because we never ran this combination, you know, we started it last year, so we don't have a lot of experience, but the guys have been working hard. We've been moving a lot of shocks, 4-link bars, wheelie bars, and everything else. And we went 1-on-1 out there right then, and I think that's pretty good for this car and just, you know, that track condition for sure.
Monty was your number 16 qualifier. He went 63 under. He went 884 twice in qualifying. Kevin DUET was 67 under his index with a 682. He's coming out of the number 8 spot. Monty's pre-stage. Kevin bringing that alcohol-burning nostalgia car into the beams, the O'Reilly side of the racetrack. First one to the finish line is going to win. Green light, Monty. Green light, Kevin. Nostalgia car closing really, really quickly. Top end. Wind light going to go to Monty Bogan. 881. F altered index of 861 for Keith. 300 cubic inch small block pushing that thing down the racetrack. 60 under in qualifying. And Keith turns it red. Jeff Taylor. Oh no! Keith MAWHEE sideways at the top end, gets into the wall on the left side. Great driving job by Jeff Taylor to avoid him. But Keith MAWHEE gets into the wall, and the safety safari is rolling to check on Keith. And we will keep you updated as soon as we know more. Kind of strange how that shook out. Keith was seemingly off the throttle down there, and the car just made a hard left turn in front of Jeff Taylor. Jeff with a great driving job to avoid Keith. And we have received word that Keith MAWHEE is communicating with the safety safari. He has indicated to the safety safari that he is okay. But obviously we're going to be down for just a little bit here. But as always, the important thing, Keith is okay.
The track is percolating, and so they're trying to work on it and get it going. I guess this is pretty standard fare out here. It happens at a few other tracks out west, but this is just checking it out, seeing if there's water, seeing if we're going to make a run, actually.
All right, guys, so the maintenance on track was due to seeping issues. As of now, we are done for the night. And we will pick this up first thing tomorrow morning and do everything in our power to get this event completed. We all want to get this race done incredibly badly, with this being the final divisional here at Houston Raceway Park. We're going to be very rushed tomorrow morning, but we are going to do everything that we possibly can to get this race in. Well, if you don't like the weather in Texas, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So, we're just kind of trying to wait this out, and hopefully it'll clear out. Looks like, based on the forecast, it should be gone within a couple hours. So, it'll be all right. We'll get it in. The biggest challenge is going to be that because it's been cloudy all day, there's not a lot of heat in the racetrack, which is something that helps with the drying process. But got dryer on property, so we should be able to still get it dry fairly quickly. Won't be able to run too late tonight, but if we start at 4 or 5 o'clock, it shouldn't be much of an issue.
It's a lot of moving parts and rolling a lot of equipment, but doing everything we can to provide a safe track for the racers and just get it done and do the best we can. And it takes teamwork. Not just my crew, but the track crew and everybody working seamlessly together, and Houston Raceway staff and the NHRA Division 4 staff is the best we got.
Yeah, it was just a lucky move. Had he not red lighted, it probably would have been a lot uglier. As soon as it shifted second gear, I think I was in some water or something and our car come loose. And I was going to have to shut off anyway, so we got a lucky break there, not only getting the round win, but avoiding a big collision at the finish line.
And we will be ready to rock and roll on the final race day from Houston Raceway Park, NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Division 4 competition, as we roll into Comp Eliminator round number 2. Taylor Chemiskey was supposed to be alongside of CALI NEFF. CALI either broke or started the drive back to Colorado. Taylor opts to just take the tree in the wedge-headed 309 cubic inch small block between the frame rails of the Pro Start chassis dragster. 777 is the index for Jim Kimbrough. So Rick's going to get over a 1 second head start. Jim Kimbrough 17 red, Rick Brown. Rick goes 843, 131 miles an hour, shutting her down before the finish line. Jim 820.
The most important piece of that car is the hood scoop support. There's nothing beats horsepower. I mean, anytime you got more power, it allows you to do other things with the car. It's always going to be better. Oh, I think it's 99% to the customer and 1% to me. Sometimes I'll come back and look at 2 or 3 other computers before I even get to look at my own. So, but they're the reason I'm here, so that's just part of it.
Wheels up for Chase. Got about a 1 advantage at the tree. Down there at the finish line, win light. Chase Williams, 698. Saves the index. Still gets the win. Don Thomas goes 726, 149. Some of the great sponsors coming on board this season. Cody Lane, 882, the index. He's going to move first by about 1.4 seconds. Roger running against an index of 745. Green light. 1:03 short time for Roger Brogdon. He's on a good run. Does he have enough racetrack? Yes, he does. 7:02, 182 for Roger. Cody goes 8:43, 160. That is Craig Bourgeois. He was slated to be alongside of Mike DePalma. Mike and Monty and the Lee Sharp Racing team began the drive back to the Carolinas. Craig, that A Nostalgia dragster, fuel injected 411 cubic inch power plant. Craig with a 003 light. And then just coasts on out the top end, 938, 117 miles an hour. And Brad Brewer is the A-field winner of Comp WFO qualifying in Belrose. He's just going to roll up and take the tree. And that will do it for Comp Eliminator, round number 2. Special thanks to Moser Engineering, Rooftec, Jags, Weldon. Chase the B Econo dragster, left-hand side, 365 cubic inches of small block Chevy power. Taylor Chemiskey, the F Supermod. Again, the super modified designation means that at one point that car rolled off the assembly line as a 92 Chevrolet Camaro street legal machine. Manually shifted small block powered car. Green. 0.02 of a second going to Chase Williams. Car's kind of wagging the tail through the middle and at the top end of the racetrack. Oh, Chase, great job of gathering that thing back in. Keeps his foot in it through the stripe, goes 690 with a 7. Brad Brewer out of California, running the entire Division 4 schedule this year. That is a B altered. Talking to these guys down at Belrose, that is a former Top Sportsman car, now sporting a 465 cubic inch Chevrolet big block.
Liberty 5-speed. He's going to move first by a little over 0.2 of a second. 77.66 is his index. Craig Bourgeois, the A Nostalgia car, mechanically fuel injected, 411 cubic inch power plant on alcohol. Going to leave with the front end in the air. A lot of times trips to 60-foot clocks with the rear tires. Out of Metairie, Louisiana. And Brad Brewer turns it red by 2 hun. Craig Bourgeois clicks it off. He'll coast on through the top end at a 7.55. Jeff Taylor for J&A Services over on the left-hand side. Nickens and Whiteley machine. And Roger Brogdon for Rooftec. Roger had a beautiful 66 Chevy 2 B-altered automatic machine last year. The car found its way into the retaining wall in Topeka. Opted for the more conventional Pro Stock style car for your rebuilt program. The winner of this pair is going to get Rick Brown in the semifinals. Advantage at the tree to Jeff Taylor. Brogdon pulling ahead down at the finish line. Roger goes 696, 196 miles an hour for the win. Rick Brown just going to roll up and take the tree.
Yeah, I gotta do routine maintenance every round. Last round, found a broken valve spring. They're getting a little old and tired, like me. So I just gotta check it and make sure we don't have no problems for this next round, because Chase is tough. Bump it over to him. But we're gonna give it our best. We'll see what we got for him. Go ahead.
Well, we got a super tough one next round. Craig Bourgeois, me and him have duked it out in D4 for years. I mean, he's as tough as it gets as far as opponents go. I mean, multi-time world champ, what else can you say? We're gonna give him everything we got. So this place is pretty special to us. My dad got his first divisional win here. I got my first national win here. Just been a really good place to us over the years. So.
Houston Raceway Park Comp Eliminator brought to you by Rooftec. D4 Comp Eliminator bonus fund in the water box. Well, one's backing up from the burnout. Roger Brogdon. Rick Brown, 318 cubic inch small block with automatic transmission. 6-time national event winner. Multiple records in comp and super stock. CCR Motorsports, Ambi Ampersand Soap Company, 00 Green, Clegg Industries, Harlan Towing, Rooftec, Triple H Structural Steel Covers of Texas, and Emmons Autoplex, great sponsors of the D4 Comp Bonus Fund. Who's going to make their way into the final? Craig Bourgeois and Chase Williams. We'll wait to see who their opponent will be. Roger Brogdon is dead, and I mean dead late at the tree. Roger's 379 on the wrong side of the Christmas tree. Well, correction, he was 379 green, and that's way too green. Rick Brown. Rick Brown's 23 at the starting line, 846. He will not take any index penalty on that run, so he will be sitting at 883 in the final round. Craig Bourgeois and Chase Williams. The Alligator Hunter out of Metairie, Louisiana. Number 15 and number 13 qualifiers. Craig and Chase. Chase's dad, Greg, family affair for them. Jimmy Dunn turning the screws on the nostalgia car for Craig Bourgeois. Who's Rick Brown going to face? Craig or Chase? Side by side, wheels up, launches 0.02 of a second advantage to Bourgeois. Top end, wind light, Craig Bourgeois, 686, 185 miles an hour. He's going to take a little bit of a penalty going into the final round.
We did some chassis work that time, as you could tell, loosened it up and left the starting line good. Much better 60-footer rear wheel at that. The run was perfect. Roger had an issue on the starting line, thank God, that we didn't have to burn any index, and we're going to the final with down 0. Craig burned 6, so we've got an advantage that I just need to do my job at this point. And then Roger, I can't thank him enough for backing this whole thing. It's just so great. If anybody I hated to beat, it was him at this point. But I've run Craig in the past. I think the last time was probably in the final at a points race, I believe, in Atlanta, I believe. So, anyway, we appreciate everybody being out there, and we're glad for Les being here, and the whole Competition Plus deal. It's just perfect for everyone.
I think I got a chance. Like they said back in the horse days, Secretariat was never always the favorite, but she come through. So I hope old Seabiscuit here can come through in the finals for me. We're going to give it our best. That's all we can do.
And then the final race here at Houston, how special would this be?
It would be really special. You know, I've won a national event here. I've won at least 1 or 2 divisionals here, but the last one would be a little special for me. Not to mention bonus money up for grabs. So we'll see what we can do. We'll try our best.
The Comp Eliminator final rolls out underneath the tower. Roger Brogdon and Rooftec putting on the D4 Comp Eliminator bonus fund. $350,000 in prize money up for grabs. Rick Brown and Craig Bourgeois bring these very unique machines to life. We're about to crown our final Comp Eliminator champ here at Houston Raceway Park. Rick, the B-Truck Automatic rolling in on the summit side of the racetrack. Small block powered. Former Pro Stock truck. That's Craig Bourgeois, Metairie, Louisiana. Former Comp Eliminator World Champ, number 6. Craig finished number 6 in Division 4 Comp Eliminator standings last year, the A Nostalgia Dragster. And our top sportsman final is in the staging lanes. Rick going to move first by just about a full Christmas tree. 883 the index for the truck, 737 for the Nostalgia car. Remember, Comp Eliminator, there is no breakout. First one to the finish line is going to be your winner. Green lights a pair. Very slight advantage to Rick, and at the finish line, it's going to be Rick Brown. 822. He is under by 61. Craig not under by near as much. Rick Brown, congratulations to him. John Stock, Dennis, and Chris McDaniels, the entire crew. The final Comp Eliminator champion here at Houston Raceway Park.
It's wonderful. I'm just elated, that's all I can say. Driving, I don't know where it came from, but I've always had good lights, but this is exceptional for here. I'm very tickled, but got very lucky with a few breaks by other people and some few issues, but glad to be down 0 in the final, especially against Craig Bourgeois, who was one of the best around, of course, world champion several times. And he was down 6, we were down 0, so glad that we were able to cover him and get down through there good. For the old guy turning 71 here in about a month and a half, I feel very fortunate to be here. And with the tuning that I've learned from some people that know a lot more than I do in the past, and Toby Graham was one of them in the past that passed away years ago. He bought our C Dragster, and I got to know him very well. He worked on Pro Stock cars, and he's the one that gave me some of the tuning experience in the beginning, and sad he's gone. but he was one of the ones that helped me. And with the power from Tom Martino and my driving, I think we can do this. It's just it's sort of luck of the draw, round to round, who gets down, who gets the red lights, etc., etc. Fortunately, we had that here, but we had the power in the final to take care of it, and got a good light there too.
Well, folks, that's it. A moment that many of us expected for the past couple of years, but hoped and prayed would never come. Kevin Wilson, Darian Bosch have been etched in the history books as the final pair of cars to make a pass down the Houston Raceway Park quarter mile in NHRA competition. It's been a great run, but as they say, all great things must come to an end. For many of us, this is like losing a family member. The track, the people we've met, the great experiences we've had here over the years with our friends and family are things that'll stick with us for the rest of our lives. Bittersweet. That's the only way to sum up this weekend. On behalf of the NHRA and Lucas Oil, thank you to everyone for coming out and joining us this weekend for one final time. This is Chris Monahan signing off from Houston Raceway Park.